What's up, Cirque City? I'm here with Sierra Stud. No. Kevin Sierra, one of our original studs. What we're going to talk about today is like a topic that takes me way back to when I first started training, and it has to do with a lot of what we incorporate in our individual program design, our one-on-one training, and even in our function group coaching and group program. And it talks about like looking at an individual and looking at them from the side, and it's called a posture analysis. It's very basic, very simple, but you can tell a lot from someone's lifestyle about how they stand, just normally, just walking by them, and what possibly they might need. Now, this is not a diagnosis. We'd want to go through in a further assessment like we do once you get started and get an idea of where that person's at. But just by looking at this, you can tell Kevin here has pretty big pecs. And you know, he's probably done a lot of push-ups, things like that, pull-ups. And what he has is he's kind of turned in here, right? And you can see that his arm's turning, even his arm is turning in, his thumbs are coming in. So we want to work within training to basically open them up a little bit more. So getting a little bit open, rolling that shoulder back, palms facing out a little bit more, okay? And there's a few different ways we can do this, but today I'd like to talk about how to use like the counter muscles to that. So we have our pectoralis major and pectoralis minor in the front pulling us forward, okay? We do a lot of pressing, push-ups, bench press, things like that. But one thing that's lacked a lot of is all the scapular muscles, okay? Like I said, we address this, especially in the individual model of, you know, once we do an assessment, we see glaring problems, we'll go ahead and do this. And a few exercises we want to do is some retraction exercises. Now, we just installed this crossover symmetry. Great tool. It's not the only tool. We can do this stuff with dumbbells, so you can kind of relate that with dumbbells. But Kevin's going to go ahead and stand back. He's going to do some, basically, what would be if you were doing a barbell, would be like almost like a bent over row. And very, very similar, but this is standing, a little bit lighter weights. So he's going to basically retract his scapula. So he's going to start from a protracted position with his arms all the way straight. So that'd be like at the top of the bench press. You can tell as well is that you can roll those shoulders forward here more, okay? He's got a rounded back. Now, I've seen a lot of people walk around with this rounded back. And one thing that they need to work on is really pulling back. So he's gonna pull back. He's not gonna elevate his shoulders and like do a shoulder shrug. He's gonna make sure he doesn't use his traps in that, okay? The ones, you're gonna use your traps, it's gonna be elevated. Now, you'll get some retraction from the traps, but you're gonna come back, hold for about 2 seconds, and release for about 3 seconds, okay? Nice and slow. Now, you don't need a crazy amount of weight. If you're up here in our mobility center using crossover symmetry, you're gonna wanna stay back so you're completely on tension when you're there, and you're gonna pull all the way back, pause, and release. Now, in general, you want to have, when you're starting off with something like this, a little bit lighter weight, a little bit higher reps. So you're thinking about 3 sets of 10 to 12 reps, okay? So that's one of the exercises. Another one, and you can do this on a bench with a dumbbell, just a regular bent over row. Similar exercise. Using the difference between dumbbell and the bands, it's just a different strength curve. This would be also great to warm up with. Come up here, get a little bit lighter weight. If you got some overhead pressing or even some pull-ups for that day, come up and start doing things like that. There's diagrams up here for different exercises. You can do that. Another one that's really, really great is basically extra rotation, right? So Kevin's gonna grab the lighter ones. You'll probably wanna go lighter. Don't be don't be trying to go too heavy with this because you're working a lot of the smaller muscles. So he's just basically gonna come up and he's gonna rotate, pull all the way back. He's gonna retract that scapula. He's gonna hold it there and he's gonna rotate back and up, okay? You're gonna hold for 2 seconds and release for 3. Okay? Now with this, also don't try to elevate that scapula too much. Just try to work on that external rotation. Okay? You can even stop. It doesn't have to come forward, and then he comes all the way up. Okay?
Yeah, you can feel it too.
Yeah, those little muscles are firing. You don't need very much weight with it. If you look up knee external rotation, that it's a real similar to what you're doing there. A little bit different range of motion, different strength curve. But if you have any questions, just let us know. If you haven't had an assessment, we do a full physical assessment, meaning upper body pulling, upper body pressing, double leg pressing, single leg pressing, bending and stooping, and core assessment. It's a part of what we meet with every client when they get started and go through that stuff. Very important because you don't want to work forward with imbalances. You want to create longevity by creating balance within your system. And that's what our function program's all centered around. Okay? Till next time.